Hello, my friends, and welcome back. It is Sunday, October 12th, 2025. I'm the Drunk Pokeroo. 'Tis Slow Sipping Sunday beer time. One of my favorite days of the week. I love Sunday. We reach in the cellar, we pull out a treat or two. Who knows? Who knows what's going to pop out of there? It's not always just big barrel-aged knockers that we're getting after. We're going after some wild ales that have been sitting there doing whatever wild yeast does to beers. From our pals Sawdust City Brewing comes Limberlost Kriek, strong beer with natural flavor. So this was a 2-year-old Flanders Red aged in oak puncheons with their unique Limberlost strain, which I love is one of my most favorite wild yeast strains. Ontario-grown tart cherry concentrate. The second beer they added to this was Old Woody Alt, aged in second-use bourbon barrels for 6 months. So this was canned December 16th, 2021, so the 2022, I guess we would call it. I don't know that they do Limberlosts anymore, or maybe I just missed out because I really didn't drink a lot in the last year, and so I've been kind of out of the loop. But if they do, you should get whatever Limberlost comes out because these are always fun. So it's about a 3-year-old wild ale. A little bit of foam up. I haven't had this for a couple of years, so I've got a few Limberlost sitting in the fridge, but I haven't had this for a couple of years, so it'll be interesting to see where it goes. The Limberlost yeast strain is something fabulous happens to beer when it does that. Now, definitely getting that tart cherry. If you've ever had a Flanders Red, now it's not my favorite style of beer. I'm not a big sour beer fan. But there are certain styles of sour beers that I like more than others, and this would be one of them. So let's get into it anyways. Cheers. Ooh, that's sour. It's that first sip too, right? It's that first sip of beer today. Oh. That cherry comes shining through. Holy moly. That's fabulous. That is a fabulous sour beer. I don't know if you've got one of these lying around your fridge somewhere in your cellar. You want a real treat. That cherry just comes popping through with that Limberlost yeast, that kind of wild, funky farmhouse yeast that just has this very unique flavor. And I've always said this about it. It doesn't ruin your palate for the rest of the day. I find sometimes when you get these funky yeasts, it ruins your palate for the rest of the day. It just coats everything, and it's not always a pleasant experience. With Limberlost, I always find I could walk away from it going, man, that was good. I wish I had another sip. There is an oakiness to it. There is a bit of a cola. There's sort of a dry hay horse blanket finish on it. It's interesting. So the second sip, not as sour, right? That first one just catches you. It's still at the back though. That's fantastic. That's fun. These beers are fun. I miss one thing I do miss a lot about, drinking a lot less is that I don't have time or space or capacity to drink. What am I doing with my hands? To drink a lot of different styles of beer, right? I tend to rotate into styles I like because I know I'm only going to have a couple of beers and I want to try and make them things I hope I'm going to enjoy or that I know I'm going to enjoy. Limberlost is a pretty easy grab for me. I think this is probably at or a little past its peak. I would say if you have one, I would drink it. It's only 6%, but I mean, the alcohol doesn't really matter as much with the wild yeast, but it does start to degrade over time. This tastes fantastic. I think it's in great shape. I just feel like that. I can feel it on the finish there. It's kind of just, it's reached that peak where everything has come together really nicely, and you got to move on. There's even a little bit of heat on the back, just a tiny bit, right? Maybe that coming from that bourbon barrels. Not really so much for the vanilla, a little bit, but that's fun. I'm glad I had it. I'm glad I got a couple more different kinds of Limberlosts in the fridge. We'll go through them in the coming weeks, and I hope to enjoy them just as much. Cheers. So the question is, what's in your slow sipping Sunday glass, and how much fun are you having doing that?